Yo, Shutdown Deacon, creating vision from wounds to wisdom. You needed that hurt. It's crazy how that pain make you refocus. You needed that hurt. It's crazy how pain make you refocus. Now, it's crazy how pain make you refocus. Okay, I just want to be on point with that because that's what it is. I want to have something kind of to highlight and then spill off into it, and I got to make sure I'm spilling off into it from the right spill. So that pain, and you got to understand that stuff is painful. It is. It really is. Pain is what it's called for a reason. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So, it's the scarring, it's the bruising, it's the bleeding. That's a part of it, unfortunately, and we don't want to hear that part. Pain is a part of growth, and you can't grow without the pain because it's not going to always be easy, and you're not going to learn it just as easy the way you're so comfortable doing all the other stuff. You're not going to learn it. And it's why you might have to kind of adjust and do it, fall down and figure it out and whatever, and not be kind of secure in knowing how it's going to come together and knowledgeable, or you just got to kind of have that faith, and that's what you're going to have to hold on to. And it's going to be a challenge if you don't have it to develop that. That's all. And you can develop it eventually. But you got to know that the pain is a part of the process. I didn't know that in the beginning of my journey. I had some very painful things that had transpired early in life, and I didn't know. And it's actually, a helping thing now. It's a stepping stone. It's a step up from that setback. That setback is always a setup for a comeback. And that pain was just that. And I didn't know. And I spilled into doing all that other stuff just to kind of add on to the pain and suffering. And so the pain of something is needed sometimes, and you got to learn why you going through it, and it's to make you stronger, of course, and that you're not gonna fall apart every time something happens. And we get so used to the chaos and confusion that you always want to fall apart instead of always want to be put together and standing up on top. It ain't always got to be I'm down and out. So that's what the pain is for, to strengthen you, to help you learn, to get you from that pivot to the next place. And it never stops. The learning never stops. I always say that in my videos because, I don't want to talk about the pain either no more. I try to stay away from like painful things and things that kind of that irritates me in the painful ways, or my mind was once pained by that stuff. I'll say that. And I still got to stay away because it's a trigger. But when you fully healed in that pain environment where there's no other healing, you the only healing, you're gonna have to still be strengthened and know that you are kind of healed from that. Well, you heal from it, but you're gonna have to stay away from all the triggers, because when you fully healed, you're not gonna need to be around painful, broken people. You're not gonna need to be around them. Not that they're not gonna exist, but that's what you are holding on to. And that's what we all have, pain and suffering that we have from yesterday. I'll call yesterday. It's traumatic in childhood and painful, all the stuff. It does hurt. And you don't get stuck. You got to mourn and move. I've heard that before. Mourn and move. That's what it was. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed of going through something, being affected by something catching you off guard, or something just not going your way. That's the right way to say it. And don't always be thinking that you do have it all put together, because it's always somebody else worse off. And that's just everybody in robot mode before the robots come, about being all put together. And it's a broken world. It really is. And if you want to get back into the story of it, that's what it is, the fallen world. And I'll start if you want me to. but I ain't gonna go there. But that's where it comes from, all the hurt and pain and suffering. But don't stay there, and we're gonna pivot back into getting yourself back in order. Get up, get going. You needed that. You needed that. It helped the pain. It makes you refocus. That's what it does. It makes you refocus. But we don't want to refocus sometimes. It makes you refocus. I'm not gonna stay like this. I'm not always gonna be always breaking down every time I hear, my favorite song that make me cry. I don't want to hear that song no more because it makes me cry. You should be able to hear the song without crying. I learned that too, and it was always what was my favorite one. I was so hurt and pain by this, the life, and I ain't gonna get into the breakdown, but the pain anybody can know. But the I'm missing you and Brandy and somebody else was in that song. Um, Gladys Knight was in that song, and that was my favorite song to cry to. One of them. I had several favorite songs to cry to, but that was the brokenness. I was bleeding, and I had to get my own band-aid, and it couldn't have been the liquor. I think I was trying to make it the liquor and the cigarettes, but no, it wasn't. That was just adding to the problem as well. So you band-aid it with that stuff, and it's not gonna heal it. I know that for sure now, and I'm doing it different. So it makes you refocus. And it's Chi-Town Deacon creating vision from wounds to wisdom.